but it adds a bit of flair for the crowd. U.S. husband and wife team, Gregory and Pachukoff. And here are their marks.
Their technical score is
15.67 on the technical elements. Program components 14.84. The total of 30.51 puts them in second place.
Well, we've watched three teams compete, and we've talked about the pattern and the set number of steps that each skater is required to perform. So let's take a look at how that pattern is laid out. You can see the three sections of the pattern. Each one has an individual score. The first section, the blue section, the opening lobe, about 9 steps, and that leads into the second section, which I call the twizzle section. And a twizzle is when the woman spins quickly on one foot. Finally, the third section closes off the pattern and then leads into the restart. 41 steps in all, pattern repeated twice.
And all those steps performed in sync to the music. That's what we saw a few moments ago from Gregory and Pachukoff. Right now they're with Andrea Joyce.
We see a wide range of emotions after the first night of competition. Melissa, what was it like for you out there?
It was something indescribable. It really was very cool. You know, I was a little jittery before I got on the ice, but once I get out there, the people, the ice, it just calmed me down, and I just felt at home.
And for you, you've been a U.S. citizen now, Dennis, for a year. What does this mean to you to be able to compete out there for the U.S. Olympic team?
I'm the simple example of the American dream. So everything that I'm going through right now, it's only the beginning of my journey. And seeing all the people, all the American fans has meant so much to me. It's such a great support, and I think we're skating twice better when they're cheering for us.
And acknowledging those cheers as both American teams get off to a good start.
Okay, Tom, we'll have more ice dancing later on, but first, the second slalom run of the women's combined. The reigning Olympic and world champion, Janica Kostelic of Croatia, skipped Wednesday's downhill with a fever and accelerated pulse. She returned today, however, taking second in the first slalom run, but she didn't look all that comfortable doing it. Back we go now to Tim Ryan and Todd Brooker.
We're back at Sestriere-Collet for the second run of the women's combined event, the slalom event. The downhill was postponed until tomorrow because of high winds. The standings after the first, Austrian Marley Schild on top, Janica Kostelic, Anja Persson. Those are the three very best racers in slalom this season. Janica Kostelic troubled with an illness that has apparently fatigued her. She skipped the downhill. She's battling here against Anja Persson, the Swedish star, who wasn't pleased with her first run. Lindsay Kildow just turning in another terrific effort following that downhill training crash, and she is ready to go.
And this is one tough day for Lindsay, because if you've ever been hurt before, you know what I mean, how you know, once you warm up, your leg might get loosened up and you feel better, but they've had so much time today to sit around in between the runs. The downhill today, this morning, meant that the skiers were standing waiting for that start that never actually did take place.
So Kildow here on the top of the, she's down. Lindsay Kildow. Another fall, that one obviously not as severe as the one on the downhill, but the pain she's already in, and she is now out of the combined event.
Almost like it's just a matter of time, Tim. I mean, for someone that's injured, this is way too difficult. And every time she stands on her left ski, tries to put pressure on it, she feels the pain. And this was a real tough left footer, and that's where she feels the pain, right in her leg. And she just can't stand on her downhill ski, nor can she get enough set up to get into this short flush. So when she jams on it there and really carves on the right foot, there just isn't enough time between the gates. I mean, every time, if you can imagine, a severe pain in your left leg, she really can't get her edge in there. I mean, the gates are just coming at you way too quick here, Tim, to really get the job done. And you got to feel sorry for her, because you know she's got the heart to want to come in here, but she really can't put the pain out of her mind to be able to get the ski on edge and get the job done here. That's all there is to it.
Well, you know, her intention is to keep racing in the other events during these Olympic Games. She's going to be in the Super G, the GS, and the slalom. And you've got to say that maybe for her to have this downhill day, which has been switched to tomorrow, to have that day off might be one of the best things that happens to her. She's just tried to do too much. God bless her. She is some tough young lady.
No question. This is the longest day, and this is probably the worst event that could have come right on the heels of her injury in the downhill.
Julia Mancuso adjusting her tiara to get in here for run number 2. She was 10th in the first slalom run and really needs to go faster here to be in contention in the downhill tomorrow in this 3-run event that makes up the combined.
Well, what she has to do this second run, Tim, is just nail it. She really has to go for it because it's a shortened downhill that'll take place tomorrow. There's not really going to be too much room for anyone to make up. She's one of the better downhillers that'll be in that affair tomorrow, but she's got to make the time here in the slalom.
She's 7/10 ahead here of the current leader. You mentioned the women's downhill being moved to tomorrow. Tomorrow's men's Super G day. That's another day for Bodie Miller, Darren Rolfs, Benny Reich. Should be sensational.
She's fighting her way down, but she still is making a lot of little errors that are costing her time in the second run.
Yes, in fact, a full second. She's in second place, but that's not going to hold up. Losing a full second coming down there against the present leader here in the second run. There's her mom, Andrea, and she's got to know that that's not going to be good enough here, but the downhill is still to come tomorrow.
Well, Tim, the downhill has the potential to change some of the standings after this slalom, but I got to tell you, I'm not very impressed with the way Julia Mancuso has skied here. I was expecting her to come out and be really sharp and be really in this affair after the slalom portion. And what I'm seeing here is a lot of sliding, a lot of misplaced edges. And, you know, this isn't the toughest slalom hill. It certainly isn't the longest one. And, I mean, for this kind of skiing to be taking place here, I'm just really very surprised.
So Julia Mancuso will be back in the pack. Remember, all of the top racers from the first run are still to come here in the second. Lindsay Kildow is coming down the hill following her fall. We're just glad to see her up and okay, and we know that she'll be in the next event. At the top of the hill, Racy Stiegler, 7th after the first run of slalom. Looks like she's meditating there on what she has to do here in run number 2. She's got a 2/10 lead on the current leader.
And her mission in the second run here, Tim, is rather simple. She's just got to come out here with 100% horsepower because she doesn't have a lot of experience in the downhill. The chances of her making up a lot of time in that event aren't very good, so she's got to do it right here.
And she can draw on the inspiration of her very successful father, one of the famous ski racers, Pepe Stiegler, with 3 Olympic medals to his credit in his time.
Well, she got off to a rather slow start this winter and maybe lost a little bit of her confidence with her shin problem. Her chance is better down here in the bottom, but I think once again there's a lot of mistakes being made by another American skier here.
To the finish line, and you can see the way she came across the line that she knew she was not having a good run. She's well back. Racy Stiegler at age 20, there's lots ahead for her, but she will really have to battle in the downhill tomorrow. Lindsay Kildow, what we wish for her is a good night's sleep.
This year, our Pontiac Torrent is bringing more to the street than its competition. A larger engine than BMW X3. More stars than Ford Escape and frontal crash tests. More passenger room than Jeep Liberty. And now, more value, with Torrent starting under 22 grand. But don't take our word for it. Google Pontiac and discover for yourself how design can make a difference.
Are you sure you won't fall again?
Don't you remember the famous man who had to fall to rise again? So pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again.
DHL is proud to support the 2006 Olympic Spirit Award, given to athletes like Dan Jansen.
Good morning, Mr. Jansen.
Who never give up.
I know what that feels like.
Go to DHL-USA.com to vote for this year's winners.
There's a lot of pressure on this kid.
He's so exciting, even at practice.
There he goes.
Nailed the takeoff.
This guy is as graceful as a bird. He's not even wearing skis.
What? Fantastic.
This guy is pumped and ready.
Winter can be beautiful. It can also leave skin itchy and dry.
New Aveeno Skin Relief Lotion for the relentless itch of winter skin with a triple oat formula to provide 24-hour soothing relief.
Take the itch out of your winter.
Aveeno Skin Relief Lotion.
Our taxes are done. Our taxes are done.
What? Shouldn't we have gone to one of those tax stores?
TurboTax asks me questions just like H&R Block does. Then it puts the answers on all the right forms.
But the tax guy checks it.
TurboTax checks for errors and missed deductions.
How do we know it's right?
All calculations are guaranteed accurate. Besides, over 20 million returns were prepared with TurboTax last year alone.
Well, if it's so good, then how much are we getting back? Wow.
TurboTax. Taxes made easy. Taxes done right.
Drink Coke. Live Olympic. A return to form for Team USA on Thursday as the Americans rebounded with a 4-1 win over Kazakhstan. And in snowboard cross, a formidable debut featuring world champion Seth Westcott.
Slingshot right there, Westcott! Oh, that is the essence of snowboard cross right here.
Who survived the chaos and seized the lead.
Westcott with the gold!
This Olympics, Coke is providing the chance for all of us to win together. A medal for them equals a prize for you. Go to NBCOlympics.com to learn more about Team USA and your chance at victory.
Well, there's a gorgeous look at this race course under the lights here at Sestriere-Collet. The women's start house, a little lower than the men's. And in the start house now, the 19-year-old prodigy from Gößling, Austria, Katrin Zettel, is having an outstanding year on the World Cup circuit, but when she saw the results of the men's combined, even though she's not a good downhill racer, just inexperienced at doing that, she said, you know, I was really inspired by that Ted Ligoty's performance, the American racer. Just shows what she can do. Well, she's turned in one excellent slalom run. Here's run two.
No question about that. I mean, Ligoty inspired a whole lot of slalom racers the other day, the way he went for it and the way he remained so calm and nerve-free, and that's something Zettel said she wants to do with her own ski racing.
So beautifully quiet and balanced, showing the same kind of style she showed in the first run, and she's fast again. To the finish line, and she's taken the lead here. 1:21.75 her combined time for the two slalom runs. Heading into the downhill tomorrow. Now, you know, she knows that probably Kostelic and Persson are going to be faster than she is, and probably her teammate Marley Shield for the total time, but what an effort by her. She's in contention going into the downhill. Anja Persson from Sweden.
Well, if we have a snowy day in the downhill tomorrow, Zettel at 130 pounds is barely even going to make it across the flats there with that snow. On the other hand, Anja Persson is saying that she is more comfortable at speed and more comfortable on the downhill. She fully intends to win that part of this combined event.
She's already got a bronze in the Olympic downhill here at these Torino Olympic Games, coming off her 2 medals at Salt Lake. She's lost a little time here on the bottom. She wasn't pleased with her first run, although she's right up there with the best of them.
No, she was mad, in fact. You know, her edges just seemed to be catching. She was over-skiing, overturning, and it looks like the same thing is true this time.
She's into second place again, 3/10 back. Total time for her, and feels a little bit better about that. She knows she's within striking distance in the downhill, no matter what Kostelic and she'll do here in run number 2. Janica Kostelic, the best ski racer in the world. 4 medals at the Salt Lake Olympic Games. She's leading in the overall World Cup standings coming in here, but she is not well. She's not at full strength.
And this year, Janica Kostelic is wearing contact lenses, part of the after effects of the grave disease that she has been suffering from. And just skiing at dusk, you know, the first run was at dusk. It's kind of a strange time of day, but tonight, now that the lights are fully in her effect, it's as bright out here as it is in a hockey arena. Much better for the racers.
2/10 behind here. Now working the bottom of this short course.
She really knows how to fly in the flatter part of the course, and she looks to me like she's a little bit better. Saved a little energy for the second run.
Final few gates for Kostelic, chasing young Katrin Zettel, and she takes the lead. 7/100ths ahead of Zettel of Austria. And again, looking quite fatigued here at the end of this slalom run.
No question about that. She is fully drained You know, but one of the gates, Tim, that a lot of racers are having problems with trying to scramble on, Kostelich is so smart. She's using her experience to get herself high. This is the delay gate, a change of rhythm. And she makes sure that she really carves the beginning of the turn. In fact, she gets so high, she's actually got to bat this next red gate out of the way. Most of the other skiers have only been within 3 or 4 feet of that. Kostelich was so sharp, and she's finding some of the accuracy in the second run that she didn't have in the first.
Well, she and Persson will certainly be favored to go for the gold in the downhill portion. They're the 2 best downhillers left among these top racers. Marley Shield, first after the first slalom run. The 24-year-old from Saalfelden, Austria. Absolutely sensational skier, having a great year. She's 4th in the overall standings. And she won 3 consecutive races on the Slalom World Cup coming into the Olympics.
Well, and in this combined event, it is going to be a very young Austrian combined team with an average age of 21 years old. We're so used to watching the downhill racers all in their 30s, the golden girls on the Austrian team. This is the young spirit, and you know, it's the younger skiers that have the quick reflexes and the ability to get on and off the edges like she is showing us right here.
Widening her lead, 7/10 ahead of Kostelich.
Just some beautiful skiing in the second run, very much like she came down in the first.
To the finish line and into first place by nearly a half second. That'll be her lead, combining her 2 slalom times into the downhill. Postponed from today because of high winds. It'll be run tomorrow. This men's Super G will be run over at the Borgata course. Huge day of speed racing tomorrow in these Olympic Games. Janica Kostelich still showing her fatigue after her run. So Marley Shield takes the lead into the downhill, followed by Kostelich and Zettel. Lewis Johnson is with Lindsay Kildow.
Can you help us to understand how much pain you're in?
You know, I didn't even think this when I was warming up that I could do it. Honestly, I couldn't go like 5 gates without, you know, having to stop and, you know, recuperate because my back hurt so bad. So, you know, I was happy just to be able to race, but you know, I just can't ski the way I want. I can't do what I want, and it's really frustrating, but I'm happy just to be here.
Well, that's the Olympic spirit. Tomorrow, the showdown between Sweden's Anja Persson and Croatia's Janica Kostelich. The 2 best women ski racers in the world battle for victory in the combined event.
And meanwhile, Lindsay Kildow's very difficult Olympics continue. Today's fall may not have been as dramatic as her downhill crash, but it does take her out of the combined. If she is looking for an upside, this might be it. Kildow says she's still skiing in considerable pain, and now she'll have an extra day to recover before Sunday's Super G. When we return, get ready for the quarterfinals of women's snowboard cross.
It's Friday night. What to do, what to do. How about a little Vegas?
Nice.
What better way to start your weekend?
Friday just became your lucky day.
All new episodes of Las Vegas begin the Friday after the Olympics, 9/8 Central on NBC.
With AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet, you get your favorite winter sports delivered. Whether it's streaming video or just looking up stats, you get the speed you need at the price you want. So get AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet, now just $12.99 a month when you order online. Go online and sign up today. The new AT&T. Your world delivered.
you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there. United. It's time to fly.
The slopes of Bardonecchia strewn with jumps, banks, and gaps to challenge the world's best riders. And today the women take to the same course that the men took to yesterday. It is the much anticipated Olympic debut of women's snowboard cross. And there's American Seth Westcott, the 2006 gold medalist of men's snowboard cross. Yesterday it was a race to the finish. And today, Westcott gets to relax and enjoy the show here at Women's Snowboard Cross. Now, those of you new to the sport, it's a bit like motocross in terms of the berms, jumps, and high airs, but much like the speed and contact, the rubbing racing element of NASCAR. As is the case with any NASCAR race, contact is inevitable, as well as protest, as was the case earlier today. A little controversy on the course. French team rider Corinne Ruby, first out of the gate in qualifiers, set a disappointing 20th place with a lot of snow on the course. She would want to make a top 16 finish to advance, and Luc Fay, the French national coach, tried to protest. But FIS standard regulations dictate you must file a protest an hour before the competition.
So I don't really understand what the problem was, Pat. It's snowing. All of these competitors are dealing with the same conditions. However, I think that the French team just had a poor wax technician. Now, the wax technician's responsibility is to make sure the boards are running fast down the hill, and maybe the French just didn't have a good one.
Well, Todd, emotions were definitely running high. Even the Italian authorities had to be brought in. Fortunately, things calmed down. Luc Fay worked things out, and then Corinne Ruby came back and put a second qualifying time to help her advance into the finals. Corinne Ruby, she'll be coming up later, but right now we get underway with the first of 4 quarterfinal races. And in the outside lane, Deborah Antonio of France. She has won 3 World Cup snowboard cross races in the last 3 years. Her fellow teammate right next to her, Marie Lesueur. And one of the strongest riders we've been watching all week, the Canadian Maëlle Ricker, rides both halfpipe along with snowboard cross. And on the outside gate, Doris Günther of Austria. And this is her second Olympics. She raced back in the parallel giant slalom in Salt Lake City and since has refocused into snowboard cross. And Maëlle Ricker, watch the quick start. It is going to be key going into this first corner. Now remember, this the quarterfinals, top 2 advance to the semifinals. Ricker, the back, Günther falls directly. And Antonio on the heels of Lesueur. But then Antonio has problems. So it's Ricker out in the lead, followed by Lesueur. Remember, the top 2 advance. And Maëlle Ricker had the fastest time out of qualifiers today.
And snowboard cross is an event where contact is not illegal. However, pushing and pulling is. So people are going to be rubbing elbows in these corners while they try to get the hole shot, try to get the lead on each other. Transitions for the maximum amount of speed.
Commanding lead for the Canadian Maëlle Ricker, followed by Marie Lesueur. Top 2 will advance to the semifinals.
Coming over these jumps, you want to suck these jumps up. You do not want to catch big air like you would in a half pipe. You want to use the transitions, basically absorb these jumps, use the transitions of the landings to pump speed.
So the top 2 advancing to the semifinals, Canadian Maëlle Ricker along with France's Marie Lesueur. Great riding up top, a little contact, but the way that Maëlle was able to get out front, that is snowboard cross at its best.
So Ricker right here punching it to the first corner, wanting to get that hole shot. And the advantage of the hole shot is being out in front when the carnage ensues behind you. So right here, Antonio goes down first. Now watch, Günther goes down on the second knuckle. And Ricker can just punch it through that section and get way out in front.
So once again, Maëlle Ricker along with Marie Lesueur advancing to the semifinals. And Todd, a perfect example of why it's important to get out in front and avoid the contact. This just a mere sampling of what we can expect as we work our way towards the final event here in women's snowboard cross. But still, to take her quarterfinal race, the young American, 20-year-old Lindsey Jacobellis.
The unique virtual technology which you've been enjoying during NBC's Olympic coverage is brought to you exclusively by AT&T. The new AT&T, your world delivered.
Time has come to cause there's a party over here, so you might as well be here with the people care. Don't hold back.
Free care. Don't hold back. Freedom is doing whatever, whenever, for 24 hours without dry skin. New Curel Continuous Comfort. Now with time-release moisturizers for soft skin all day. And then some. Curel, freedom from dry skin.
In a time, one man saw the future. Listerine added to brushing and flossing. Listerine reduces mold plaque. One man made a difference.
Dad, you through?
I've just begun.
For 2006, the Pontiac G6 delivers features the midsize imports simply can't. Like a 4-panel panoramic roof, the most fuel-efficient V6, remote start, stolen vehicle tracking. And with the G6 starting at $16,990, the difference is clear. But don't take our word for it. Google Pontiac and discover for yourself how design can make a difference.
How's your diet going?
Last night, I had 14 grapefruits.
I had 3 hamburgers with no buns.
I had 2 protein shakes and half my nephew's birthday cake.
I had wild salmon with whole wheat orzo pasta, spinach and carrots in a savory basil sauce. It was one of those whole grain spa meals from Lean Cuisine.
Eat right with Lean Cuisine.
Introducing the miracle of fusion, a revolutionary technology and a unique idea come together to create new Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual or battery power. New Gillette Fusion.
Back to Bardonecchia as we continue with the women's snowboard cross quarterfinals. These women racing on the same course that the men do. Over 38 features and 700 feet of elevation drop. And Todd, a lot to deal with right from the get-go.
Without a doubt, you've got to navigate this first section into the first turn. And if you can get out in front there, that's what we're calling the hole shot. Then you've got to navigate a couple more berms, some more jumps, step down, step off, step offs. Pat, this course is packed with features.
Definitely a lot of terrain to negotiate. As you get down towards the bottom, a kicker we're calling Uncle Buck, which throws you vertical. Then it's the home stretch all the way to the finish. A lot to navigate.
You know, we're affectionately calling it Uncle Buck, but I don't think the riders have the same sentiments as we do.
No, they've been challenged for sure down there. And there's Zoe Gillings, one of the youngest riders at 20 years old. And next to her, a rider who just turned 30 years old, Tanja Frieden of Switzerland. And Maria Danielsson of Sweden began snowboarding back in 1995. And next to her, Katharina Himmler of Germany. She got a 4th back at the legendary Mount Baker Bank Slalom race, a race very similar to snowboard cross, but it's been going for over 2 decades now.
Riders looking for a strong pull. Their boards chattering through these corners. They've scraped down to the ice underneath, and that's when their boards are going to be running the fastest.
And the current leader, Tanja Frieden of Switzerland, and having sciatic problems past couple of months now. She's trying to push through them and dealing with a lot of pain in practice.
There's old Uncle Buck, bucking the riders straight up in the air. Now they want to absorb these jumps. I can't say that enough. You do not want to be catching big air down here, especially at the bottom. Air is not your pal on this course.
So Tanja Frieden of Switzerland and Maria Danielsson of Sweden moving on to the semifinals. And American gold medalist Seth Westcott happy, the boyfriend of Switzerland's Tanja Frieden. So both Frieden along with Danielsson advancing, but the contact up top, it got heavy.
Okay, right in the yellow pants right there, that's Himmler. Right next to her is Gillings. Watch as Himmler cuts in front of Gillings and knocks her over by touching the front of her board.
And hard to believe that type of contact is allowed in the sport of snowboard cross. No pushing or pulling, but it's incidental contact allowed. Definitely allows for some exciting races. So once again, Tanja Frieden and Maria Danielsson moving on to the semifinals.
Oh, hey, check this out. It's Seth Westcott, the gold medalist. You know, I tried to get down there to high-five some people the other day. They didn't let me in there.
No, you need a gold medal.
Yeah, apparently
for sure. Very smooth. And there is 20-year-old American Lindsey Jacobellis. You know, when it comes to pressure, she's the kind to say, bring it on.
It's fun to still be doing a guy's sport, but maintain like being a woman and just being graceful about it.
Once upon a time, stereotypes ruled the snow. Then one day, she arrived with an ambitious goal to change everything.
Makes me that much stronger, makes me work a little bit harder, makes me that...
It is a stereotype that snowboarders are lazy and they don't work as hard as other athletes in their sport. I love for people to look up at me and say, look at how hard she works. Yes, she is a snowboarder, but she's working as hard as any other athlete.
Thanks for making me a fighter.
Then again, Lindsey has never been interested in doing what you'd expect. She's always been too preoccupied with beating you.
Of the girls and boys in her class. I was so proud of that. I thought that was great.
At age 20, she'll chase anyone down the mountain, men included.
If I'm allowed to train with the guys, I love to jump in the course with them, and you know, just being able to maybe keep up with them builds up my confidence and makes me better.
Once upon a time, it's already long, long ago.
I think times have definitely changed. I love that I can be a role model, especially to other young women and everyone.
Lindsey Jacobellis readies to make her Olympic debut, and that'll be next.
The 20th Olympic Winter Games on NBC are brought to you by the all-new 2006 Buick Lucerne. Buick, beyond precision. By Visa. Go on, live life. And remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa. By Dasani, the water that makes your mouth water. And by Tylenol Arthritis. Stop, think, Tylenol.
It's always the quiet ones. They sit in the back, they never raise their hand. Then the test comes, and they've got all the answers. Introducing the all-new, quiet-tuned Buick Lucerne CX. Quieter on the road than a Lexus ES330, Acura TL, or Infiniti G35. Lucerne, starting under $26,000. Buick, beyond precision, not beyond your reach.
If you're taking a pain reliever for your arthritis pain, you could be taking something that may interact with your prescriptions. The pure pain relief of Tylenol Arthritis Pain works all day, and when used as directed, has fewer drug interaction risks than the NSAID Aleve.
Will that light stay yellow for 3 seconds? Or 6? If the tire shreds, where will it land? Uncertainty on the road can lead to an accident. Now Allstate offers a little extra protection. Accident forgiveness, new from Allstate. Now your rates won't go up just because of an accident. It's time to make the world a better place to drive. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
We've come to the Caribbean in search of something this family rarely sees. I've heard rumors it still exists, but I don't know. We've tried everything to coax it out into the open. Wait, there it is. She's actually smiling. And then it's gone in a flash.
Don't just take your family on a vacation. Take them on an adventure. Find out how at RoyalCaribbean.com and get out there.
Life takes ambition. Life takes luck. It takes determination. It takes confidence, respect, and talent. Life takes joy and spontaneity. It also takes a little help. That's where we come in. So go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa.
Back as we ready for the third quarterfinal, and Todd, we have seen some incredible racing so far, a lot of contact.
Yeah, you know, and that is the essence of snowboard cross. There's going to be bumping, there's going to be rubbing all the way down this, trading paint.
Yeah, Melly Francon of Switzerland began racing in 2003, made her World Cup debut in 2004, and Corinne Ruby, all that controversy earlier, she has made it to the quarterfinals. An American, Lindsay Jacobellis, leading up to the Olympics. She has done a lot of dry land training, and that is going to come into play on these power starts. And Isabel Clark Ribayo of Brazil, the first Olympic snowboarder from South America. That's male or female, so quite a claim.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. And an interesting thing to note here, Jacobellis is the only person from the United States in the women's field.
So we get ready for the third quarterfinal. Remember, top two will advance to the semifinals. And there it is, we go, third. Almost pitched Jacobellis over. Jacobellis able to power through.
And that slip right there could have cost Jacobellis a shot at the gold.
Whoever doesn't make the top two, their Olympics will be over. But still out front, Frank Kahn of Switzerland. And Jacobellis maintaining second place, but Ruby close behind. A lot of chances for passing here, Todd.
Ruby is on her right here. She's looking to get a nice draft on Jacobellis. And then go for a sneaky pass, but Lindsay's pretty good at holding her off here.
Great angle of the bankster, Jacobellis hitting her line right there. Oh, and Ruby goes down right in the panel, almost taking Jacobellis out. Jacobellis.
I wonder if she even knew that was going on behind her. Ruby came up, almost clipped her right off of her line.
So it will be Melly Francon, Lindsay Jacobellis advancing to the semifinals. And the large Jacobellis family contingent in force. Jacobellis just charging through a lot of challenges by Corinne Ruby on that race, Todd.
You know, that was a really, really exciting race. I thought Jacobellis was going to get the whole shot straight away. She's had a great pull out of the start all day. And look at this right here. The leader, Frank Kahn, turns around. Whoa, Jacobellis is right on my tail. That's what it feels like to have a world champ coming up behind.
I am so impressed by the composure of Jacobellis, but Corinne Ruby, unfettered by the contact, marches on and stayed with Jacobellis all the way to the end. And here you can watch in the purple helmet, Corinne Ruby goes down and hits the panel, and that's it. Jacobellis goes on and gets the last transfer spot to the semifinal. And it is safe to say Jacobellis living up to the expectations, but she is definitely being challenged here. And I don't know if it's so much the course or the level of competition, but we've had some amazing lead changes and a lot of contact.
You know, I'm really impressed with the way that Jacobellis has been able to fend off the back of the pack. The way that she dealt with Ruby's advances there, incredible.
So Lindsay Jacobellis advancing to the semifinals, just one more quarterfinal, and we will continue on our march towards the finals of women's snowboard cross.
I assure you, miss, the man who did this will be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
The average age of a New York assistant district attorney is only 28.
This your first date?
Yes.
Then all will be well. 20 to life and keep parole on the table.
How do you live with yourself sending children to prison?
From the creator of Law & Order.
I lost my first case, too.
I won.
Young prosecutors with one thing in common: conviction. The Friday after the Olympics, 10/9 Central on NBC.
The Acura MDX. Connect to the modern world, or escape from it.
First rule of business, never get emotional. But with most laptops, the rules don't apply. Panasonic Toughbooks are engineered to survive the daily grind of business. They're reliable so you keep on working. Wireless so you stay connected. Panasonic Toughbooks, powered by Intel Centrino mobile technology. Panasonic, ideas for life.
Best in class, 3 years in a row.
Restyled inside and out.
Trust me, you've never driven a sedan like this. Plus, it comes in a 5-door and sport wagon. It also comes with 4-wheel.
Honey, this is Alex. Why don't we let him do his job?
Hi.
People are getting the message. Mazda 6 marks the end of the boring sedan. Now during the auto show, get $3,000 cash back, plus you may qualify for an additional $750 Mazda American Credit Cash. Get to your Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana Mazda dealer today.
At stake today, the second gold medal that will be awarded at the Olympic debut of snowboard cross. The first gold medalist is with Tina Dixon.
Well, Seth, what's it like to now be watching this event with a gold medal around your neck?
It's a nice relief to be here a day later, have the job done, and just get to come cheer everyone on.
Now, which makes you more nervous, racing or watching some of these girls?
I think it's actually worse watching. When you're racing, you know what you're doing, and when you have no control over the outcome, I think it's harder.
Now, has it sunk in yet that you're the gold medalist from snowboard cross?
Yeah, it last night, just to get it around the neck at medal ceremony, it's been sinking in all night.
How was that moment for you?
Just amazing, to get to see the flag go up and everything. It's one of those patriotic things that kind of tears at your heart. But it's that final realization of it, and it's amazing.
Who are you here rooting on?
Rooting on Lindsay and then rooting on Tanya from Switzerland.
All right, thanks, Seth. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And you heard Seth make reference to Tanya Frieden, a Swiss snowboarder who advanced to the semifinals. Very happy guy today, Todd.
Yeah, it'd be real cute. His and her gold medals.
We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds here in snowboard cross as we get underway with the last of the quarterfinals. Derisia Krings in the first gate. Next to her, Olivia Nopes. Moving over to Dominique Malte of Canada. And riding for Japan, Yuka Fujimori. Watching her in practice, tends to overamp on some of the jumps, but can be smooth. Now watch the pole out of the gate, especially Dominique Malte. Very strong pole and a great carver. The top two advance to the semifinals.
Okay. Riders ready.
Both riders go down.
Holy! Fujimura's coming around the bend here.
And there is Dominique Malte advancing to the semifinals, but the battle for second still alive. And Fujimori gets gifted the second place transfer spot. But can we talk about Nopes and Krings back and forth the entire race and then to lose it on that last jump?
That is the essence of snowboard cross. Anything can and will happen. So Fujimura, definitely excited about that. Taking advantage of a situation that presented itself.
That is the essence of snowboard cross. Anything can happen. You can take your best rider and your lowest ranked rider on the World Cup. And sometimes that lowest ranked World Cup rider could have the day of their life with contact everywhere.
Coming out of that first section, look to the far right of your screen. That's Fujimura having some problems with this section. That forced her to stay behind the pack. Now, normally you would want to be out in front, but Fujimura takes advantage of this situation when Nopes and Krings go down on Uncle Buck. out into the flats, one forcing the other to smash through a gate. And another look at it right here. Here they come, neck and neck. Looks like a little bit too much air there. They force one another to slam through the gate, and right around the backside here, Fujimura makes her move.
And Todd, as a competitor, that contact is something that has to be hard to stomach. But as a spectator, very exciting in snowboard cross. Dominique Malte, along with Yuka Fujimori, will advance to the semifinals, where they will meet up with this feared competitor, the world champion, American Lindsey Jacobellis, when the semifinals get underway. That's coming up a little later on.
So while Lindsey Jacobellis rides through to the semifinals, another favorite, three-time world champion Corinne Ruby of France, whom Jacobellis jostled with early in their heat, wipes out of the race. Ruby's hopes for a medal go up in a cloud of snow powder. From what we've seen so far, all pretty much par for the snowboard cross course.
Still ahead from Torino. More from the Olympics' fast and furious new event, with semifinals and the gold medal final for women's snowboard cross. 8 riders remain, including world champion Lindsey Jacobellis. And when we return, ice dancing continues, including the Olympic debut of Americans Tanit Belbin and Ben Agosto. All that and more when the Olympics continue from Torino.
What if an answer to our dependence on oil
was growing right in front of us? What if we could lower greenhouse gas emissions with a fuel that grew back every year?
What if a company had already built over 1.5 million cars and trucks that could run on this fuel?
What if they were willing to build a whole lot more?
What if we could live green by going yellow?
Yellow is E85 ethanol.
And one car company will lead us there. Go to livegreengoyellow.com.
Beautiful. Move it, shake it, baby.
Eyes dried out? There's a Visine for that. Introducing Visine Pure Tears with a one-click, one-drop, no-mess dispenser. So for your dry eyes, there's a Visine for that.
Look who's trying to add some flavor to her life.
Find spice where you least expect it. McDonald's new Spicy Premium Chicken Sandwich. A real tender chicken breast seasoned with a burst of Chipotle spices.
I'm loving it.
I want to know why you're doing this, and I want to know now!
Firewall is a thriller that works. Thumbs up.
Do what I want, or I will kill your wife and children.
This is about robbing the bank, isn't it?
You designed the software. You find me a way in.
Harrison Ford is back with a bang.
Change of plans.
4 stars. It throbs with fierce action and suspense.
I'm done talking.
Royally entertaining.
You get the money when I get my family.
Firewall. Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Bye, Mom.
Look both ways.
Hey. Hey.
Say thank you.
Thanks.
Buckle up.
So what's up?
Nothing.
Just ask her. You want to hit?
If you never told her, how will she know what to do?
It's time to enjoy the countdown. To enjoy overpacking and underutilizing. And letting the cats fend for themselves. It's time to enjoy a book you'd only let complete strangers see you read. And to enjoy bragging. It's called travel, and it's time to enjoy it again. America, you are ready for departure. Enjoy your trip. Expedia.
And next up from
strong technically, well-matched, lovely lyrical style. The way to tell if a team is working together is to watch the feet and watch the skate that leaves the ice. If the skate's leaving the ice at the same time and in the same direction, then they'll have perfect leg unison. And you know, when the legs are off, right away the judge will key in on that and know that the technique is not solid. And this also is what is allowing them to skate so close together. Nice technical dance.
And here are the marks for Domnina and Shabalin.
Drobiazko and Vanegas, who we expect to be in the medal hunt at 35. They're slightly off the pace, but very strong marks technically. It was the artistic marks that are holding them back slightly.
And just to give those total scores some context, 38.8 is the best compulsory dance score put up this season. And next to skate, the husband and wife team Yelena Grishina and Ruslan Goncharov from Ukraine, though they train in Newington, Connecticut, skating in their third and final Olympics. They were 15th in 1998, 9th in Salt Lake City. This is their last season. They hope to live and coach in the United States. They've been paired up since 1990, married in 1995, and with a flourish on the finish.
And talk about a professional couple. They've been working, for example, at the sport of ice dancing for 12 years, since the early 1990s. They're now in their 30s. This is not an amateur world anymore. Talk about professional. They have moved to the United States. They're going to start teaching here. I think will be very good for American ice dancing.
They had some really nice qualities to this dance. I particularly liked the refinement and the little details, like the extended free legs. Yelena has wonderful feet. Look at the turnout, and holds each edge to the last minute. They also are very light across the ice, and that, of course, is the deep knee bends. Finishing with a flourish, and this is the area where the skaters aren't actually judged. This is...
And here are their marks. The total, 37.39, puts them into first place.
And that's not a surprise at first place. They're one of the best teams at compulsory dances.
And speaking of good teams, there's one. Navka and Kostomarov, the gold medal favorites. They have yet to skate.
Terribly embarrassing, isn't it? Me, a camel, guzzling at Dasani. I don't even need to drink water. Ooh, thirst-quenching oasis. It's just sandy spring water. But this Dasani, it tastes crisp, fresh. Why, it's practically irresistible. With a hump like mine, I could quit drinking it whenever I want to. I just don't want to.
Dasani, the water that makes your mouth water.
Assembling a great car is not unlike assembling a great team. You find the best players for every position, train them to play together. But of course, it never hurts to go out and get yourself one ringer. The legendary North Star V8 engine. Available in the all-new Buick Lucerne for under $30,000. Buick, beyond precision, not beyond your reach.
The Pink Panther is the #1 movie in America.
I'm Inspector Jacques Clouseau.
And audiences everywhere are singing.
That feels good.
The Pink Panther.
The burger.
Rated PG. Now playing.
It's a cleanser that's like nothing you've used before because it's like everything you've used before. Olay Daily Facials, like a cleanser, toner, mask, scrub. 4 cleansers, 1 amazing cloth. If only every decision was this easy.
There are times one person can connect us all, bringing the world together in a single moment. In this spirit, SBC is joined with AT&T, connecting you to the 2006 U.S. Olympic team. The new AT&T, your world delivered.
Visa salutes America's Olympic athletes, because no matter what it takes to live your dreams, life takes Visa.
Visa asks, what does it take to be an Olympic athlete? After 2 events and results below expectations, Bodie Miller returns tomorrow in the Super G, and he knows it takes relentless drive to deliver an Olympic comeback. In 2002, Miller charged back from 15th place in the combined event to claim silver. Now the reigning world champion has a new chance to silence critics and take gold in Torino. Support the Visa Dollar for the Dream program. Log on to NBCOlympics.com/journey and help America's Olympic hopefuls.
Welcome back to Palavella and ice dance, compulsory dance competition tonight. You see the skaters warming up, and this group includes the top Russian pair, Navka and Kostomarov, and also includes the top American ice dancers. And Ben hope that magic continues at the Olympics in Torino.
Well, they're right in the thick of things. We've got such a deep field of great ice dance teams. 8 teams with a place finish at the World Championships last year, that Italy qualified 2 teams to the Olympic Games this year.
Signal perhaps there as their marks come up with a total of 33.20, puts them into 4th place. And tomorrow night here at Palavella, short track.
Catching little problems before they grow bigger. It's the whole idea behind GE's PET-CT and other advanced imaging technologies that help doctors detect problems so they can treat them earlier than ever imagined. Healthcare reimagined.
Here's to all those who dream of being a champion.
Budweiser celebrates a taste of the games. A home team triumph inside Palavella Stadium in speed skating's first ever team pursuit, as Italy raced to 3 straight upsets, culminating in gold over Canada.
Italy is going to win the Olympic gold in the first ever team pursuit.
And a flag-draped finale for the Italian faithful. Budweiser is a proud sponsor of the Olympic Winter Games.
And here are the favorites, Tatiana Navka and Roman Kostomarov. Representing Russia, although they train in New Jersey. After finishing.
Watch their unison. Are they doing as Dick suggested? Are they skating as one? Well, yes, through that section they are. Very strong portion of the dance, where they started to get into a little bit of trouble. And in that, I mean, they got a little tight through this section here. She had to really work that twizzle, and it's just, it comes down to splitting hairs to separate these teams.
And I've got to tell you, if she doesn't do that in exactly the right position relative to him, they will upset and pull apart and swing around the pattern, the basic pattern, and that'll be a little cattywampus, effect on it, which will destroy it.
And finally, we get the hint of a smile from Belbin and Augusto. After their first Olympic skate, they need 38.21, a big number for the lead. They will get 37.36, puts them in 3rd place.
And they are in tight, right where they want to be.
And we'll skate off to a break. Back with more ice dancing in a moment.
3rd place.
Still to come, more from figure skating, the conclusion of the compulsory dance with the Italian tandem of Barbara Fusar-Poli and Maurizio Margaglio out of retirement to thrill the home country crowd. And up next, the pulse-pounding action of snowboard cross featuring 20-year-old world champion Lindsey Jacobellis. The semifinals and gold medal final are next as soon as we return to the Olympic Games in Torino.
So, you hanging up the whistle, eh, Coach?
Yeah, kind of hard to believe.
So can a girl buy you dinner?
Coach, sorry, could you help me with something?
Sure.
This goes up there.
At Applebee's, we do our best to be part of the neighborhood.
Excuse me, you're still with your old brokerage firm?
I know, but I like being able to talk to somebody when I have a question.
Look, I don't want to be out there in cyberspace all by myself.
We moved our money to a TD Waterhouse online account. Their people really make us feel connected.
TD Waterhouse has investment consultants you can talk to when you have a question, so you're not out there all on your own. You can do this. Switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers.
To me, design is about simplicity. It's about inspiration.
It's revolutionary.
It's handy.
It's adventurous.
It's a new perspective. It's fluid.
It's sleek.
It shapes.
It brightens.
Everyone can afford great design.
DHL is proud to support the 2006 U.S. Olympic team and proud to bring customer service back to shipping.
You ready? Let's go.
The day started in the snow with qualifying. And then near disaster in the quarters. The quest for gold continues. Anxious moments for Lindsey Jacobellis as she begins to make her way down to the starting gate for her semifinal run. But now the first of two semifinals as we move to the top. And there's Marie Leysseau of France, was able to advance out of the yellow lane before, but that was with some tie-ups. She's going to have a challenge there in that lane, and Tanja Frieden of Switzerland. Next for her, Maëlle Ricker, one of the strongest racers we've seen so far here today. She is unbeatable up to this point. And Marie Danielsen in the blue lane. No wins as of yet in this lane. So we've been pointing out Maëlle's push from the get-go. Very, very strong out of the gate, and that has been a key factor so far here today. Remember, the top two will advance to the finals of women's snowboard cross. Passes her out, and Frieden able to pinch between the gate and Leysseau. Leysseau was trying to thread the needle, so it will be Maëlle Ricker along with the Swiss Tanja Frieden. And Todd, we often mention about how these riders are patient. They wait for that moment to pounce, and Marie Leysseau did just that, but getting right back up to the top. Maëlle Ricker, very strong out of the gate.
Ricker in the black pants there to the right of your screen. Look at her as she works this top section to get the hole shot. But right behind her, Frieden in the light blue top. Coming into the home stretch here, Frieden in second place. Leysseau going to make a pass on the inside, and Frieden forces her into the gate, and she goes down.
which is legal and very tactical. But before that happened, up above on the Uncle Buck feature, that jumps vertical. We saw Maria Danielsson out of Sweden get forced up, went vertical into the berm, and to take out a panel. We've seen many riders have problems with this feature all day long. Danielsson, not the only one. But Frieden, after the close contact, was able to glide it home and get that last second transfer spot to the finals. So once again, it will be Maëlle Ricker of Canada and Tanya Frieden.
Your world delivered.
The Great American Race in only one place. The Daytona 500 next Sunday on NBC.
Fridays, they're young prosecutors with one thing in common.
Just get a conviction.
Conviction. The Friday after the Olympics, 10/9 Central on NBC.
For 2006, the Pontiac G6 delivers features the midsize imports simply can't. Like a 4-panel panoramic roof, the most fuel-efficient V6, remote start, stolen vehicle tracking, and with the G6 starting at $16,990, the difference is clear. But don't take our word for it. Google Pontiac and discover for yourself how design can make a difference.
Now you can say yes to connecting your laptop to the office, way beyond the office, way beyond Wi-Fi. Introducing Sprint Mobile Broadband. Huge downloads, blazing speed, totally wireless. Say yes to the Sprint Mobile Broadband card, and you'll be a card-carrying yes man.
With Sprint Business, you can make just about any place a workplace. Now you can get a free mobile broadband card with an unlimited data access plan. Yes, you can.
2, please.
Introducing Keep the Change.
There you go. Enjoy the show.
Each time you make a purchase with your Bank of America Visa check card, we not only round up the amount to the next dollar and transfer your change from your checking to your savings account, we also match your savings for the first 3 months and continue matching 5% thereafter. Up to $250, which means there's a new easy way to save right at your fingertips. Open a checking account and keep the change. Only at Bank of America. Higher standards.
2, 3, 4, Vanetta's sledding. 4, 1 more. 5, 6, 7, 8. Silver's good, but gold is ready.
Yeah, nice. Good. I like it.
They're ready. Are you? Look inside a Coke fridge pack, cheer for Team USA, and win a prize when they win.
If you're gonna support the team, you gotta stay refreshed. So stock up on refreshing Coca-Cola products available at your local Jewel Osco. Drink, watch, cheer, win.
The Torino Olympic Winter Games continue tomorrow on the networks of NBC. Coverage begins at 5 a.m. Eastern on CNBC with 4 live men's hockey games featuring undefeated Canada against upset-minded Switzerland. Then at 8 a.m. on USA, live men's curling. Surging Team USA takes on Germany. At 3 p.m. Eastern, men's hockey continues live on CNBC. Jaromir Jagr leads the Czech Republic against Finland. MSNBC has women's curling at 5 p.m. Eastern. And at 6, it's time for Olympic Ice on USA. Your all-access pass for everything figure skating. The 2006 Torino Games continue tomorrow on the networks of NBC.
High above the labyrinth of link turns and blistering speed-induced pitches of women's snowboard cross as we ready for the last semifinal featuring world champion American Lindsey Jacobellis. Only 2 more transfer spots left to go to the finals. And there is Melly Franchon of Switzerland, currently 8th in World Cup standings. And next to her, the American Lindsey Jacobellis. And one of the biggest threats to Jacobellis has to be Dominique Maltais of Canada, only on the tour 3 years, currently #1 on the World Cup. And riding for Japan, Yuka Fujimori. And remember, she took advantage of that pileup in the quarterfinal race. And Lindsey Jacobellis, she's said to thrive on pressure, but I doubt she has ever felt pressure like this. The potential to win a first in the sport, an Olympic gold medal in women's snowboard cross. Her entire family on hand at the base of the run. Lindsey Jacobellis has to remain focused. She has put years of training into this one moment to make it to the final. And the home stretch coming down. American Lindsey Jacobellis one step closer to Olympic gold. Dominique Maltais, the Canadian, moves on as well. Classic snowboard cross up top. Lindsey Jacobellis very patient. Right behind Amélie Franquin. But it was Franquin who got the whole shot.
It was. Franquin in the blue pants right here, Lindsey Jacobellis in the white. It is a battle to come into this first corner to get the whole shot, but Franquin gets the right line and edges Jacobellis out. Little contact there, little hands. But completely legal in snowboard cross. Now right here is where Lindsey had her opportunity to pass. Franquin gets caught up in the snow there, and Lindsey takes an inside line in the air and passes her right there.
And eventually Dominique Maltais would pass Franquin, a beautiful line on the top side of the berm. Being in the air on a snowboard, difficult enough by yourself. The proximity in snowboard cross, that's an entirely different level. And notice the low body position, staying low, close to the snow. Beautiful body position, Todd, by Lindsey Jacobellis there.
Like Seth Westcott getting low, minimizing drag, and being able to tuck right through the finish.
And American coach Peter Foley, he will be sticking around for one more race, the final. So once again, Lindsey Jacobellis along with Dominique Maltais advancing to the finals. And there they will meet up with Canadian Maëlle Ricker along with Swiss rider Tanja Frieden. What do they all have in common? They are the 4 fastest qualifiers coming into today's competition. The question will be, will Lindsey Jacobellis match American Seth Westcott's gold medal performance yesterday in the men's snowboard cross? It'll all come down to the finals here from Bardonecchia. Next.
Aerial images brought to you by Goodyear's Silent Armor technology, featuring a layer made with Kevlar for rugged toughness and a comfortable ride.
What are you waiting for? A written invitation to participate in life? Well, you have one. It's called a birth certificate. So, what does life take? Life takes ambition and practice. It takes luck. Life takes tradition. It takes exploration and wonder. It takes confidence and respect. It takes determination and talent. It takes risk and joy. Life takes spontaneity. It also takes a little help. That's where we come in, to give you the freedom to experience life the way you want. So go on, live life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa.
Chicken tikka masala, aloo gobi, and a pilau rice, please.
1 chicken tikka masala, 1 pilau rice, 1 aloo gobi. Pick up or delivery? Hello? Pick up or delivery? Hello?
My Fast Things delivery is for the weak.
The 200 horsepower GTI. Make friends with your fast.
Clap. Apollo.
Apollo.
Good. You feel that? How you're slightly after everyone? All right. From the beginning.
They're ready. Are you? Look inside a Coke fridge pack, cheer for Team USA, and win a prize when they win.
Michael, I need someone to work late tonight. By the way, you smell really good.
Thank you. Red Zone, the longest lasting deodorant from Old Spice. Smell great longer.
You do smell good.
The Samsung salute to the Olympic Games.
time has come to decide who will be the first gold medalist in women's snowboard cross, making its Olympic debut here in Bardonecchia. And so far today, we have witnessed high contact, very combustible racing. As we look at our 4 finalists, and as I mentioned prior to break, all 4 racers here, the 4 fastest coming out of qualifiers. And on rider's right, in the black lane, riding for Switzerland, there is Tanya Frieden. Next to her, one of 2 Canadians, Dominique Malte. Now Malte looking very comfortable today, waiting for those opportune moments to pass. And Maëlle Ricker of Canada, looking the strongest. Ricker has won every heat she has entered today. And the world champ, 20-year-old American Lindsey Jacobellis. As we mentioned, her entire family is on hand, including her dad, Ben, down at the base, waiting to see how things unfold here in women's snowboard cross finals. Visible intensity you can see in the eyes of Lindsey Jacobellis. What does she need to focus on right here?
She needs to focus on getting that hole shot. If she can pull away from the pack, the gold is hers. Pat, what happened? I mean, I didn't really see anything go wrong up there. She was in perfect position.
Well, on a place on the course that we haven't seen anybody go down on. Seen a lot of trouble spots, but out of the gate, she looks stronger than ever.
Look at her, she gets the hole shot, just like she wanted it, edging the other riders off.
I mean, total disbelief, and her dad, Ben, watching everything unfold as she started to come down the last finish. Everyone in disbelief, including Lindsey Jacobellis. Was it justified? It definitely will be debated for a long time.
You know, another thing that's going to be there for a long time is just the haunting memory of that. I mean, was she caught up in the moment? Maybe, perhaps. I mean, she looked back. She saw there was no one behind her. She had great distance, and she just thought, you know, maybe she'd just throw some icing on the cake there.
Here's your gold medalist, Swiss rider Tanya Frieden. But getting back to the race, and then it was the other Canadian, Dominique Malte, going into the snow fence. Both Canadians. Dominique Malte was forced to climb back into course, go around the gate to grab the bronze medal. But that fall with Ricker, medics are tending to her as we speak. And this is not the face of someone who just won a silver medal. This is the face of someone who just lost a gold. For as many people as there are in the stands right now, it is uncomfortably silent as we look at the final results here from the debut of women's snowboard cross. When we return, we will try to talk to Lindsey Jacobellis.
Waste my time, Lord, waste my time. No ambition, but waste some more. Waste my time, Lord, waste my time. Waste my time, waste my time.
The
2006 Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year, the new Nissan Xterra. Show us your X.
So cool, man.
Ben, this whole show was awesome.
I know.
Hey, boys. Mr. Wolfson. What are you guys up to tonight? Studying. You? Grading papers. See you in class on Monday?
Got a spicy side? Try McDonald's new Spicy Premium Chicken. A tender, real chicken breast, bold chipotle spices on a honey wheat roll. It's the hot new Premium Chicken Sandwich.
No way.
With AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet, you get your favorite winter sports delivered. Whether it's streaming video or just looking up stats, you get the speed you need at the price you want. So get AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet, now just $12.99 a month when you order online. Go online and sign up today. The new AT&T. Your world. Delivered.
Skull.
Skull. Maisha marefu.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry.
Salud. Cheers.
Man. Santé.
Salaman.
Yakina.
Saha.
Prost.
Cheers.
A superhero knows how to do things the rest of us can't. A superhero is super fast. A superhero knows how to fly. A superhero never ever gives up. A superhero has a secret identity.
The Home Depot is proud to employ more Olympic and Paralympic superheroes than any other company.
Diet Coke, proud sponsor of the 20th Olympic Winter Games. Live like the whole world is watching. Light it up.
The unbelievable events that just transpired in women's snowboard cross finals is still settling in. Lindsey Jacobellis had the gold within reach and lost it on the home stretch. And this is not a good sign. Canadian rider Maëlle Ricker being taken off on the sled with Ski Patrol. Before we went to break, we were talking about that second to last hit with Lindsey Jacobellis and the method air.
Simply put, the air on the left is what she went down on in the home stretch. On the right is the air that she did in the semifinals to stabilize herself in the air. Now there is a big difference. In 2002, Lindsey Jacobellis lost the gold with that in 2006.
Just a moment ago, Lindsey Jacobellis with her dad. Tina's now caught up with the silver medalist.
Lindsey, what happened there towards the end of the race?
I was really excited. Everything seemed to be going well, and I've been getting thrown off that jump a little weird, so I tried to grab to stabilize myself, but it didn't really work.
Did you feel like you had it at that time?
No, because I know the race isn't over till you cross the finish line, so, Tanya did a great job, sticking it to the end.
Where does the silver medal sit for you?
A silver medal in the Olympics is still a silver medal, so, it's still great, and USA is on the podium.
What were you thinking when you saw Tanya pass you?
I was definitely frustrated because I worked really hard. I fought the entire way down, and especially right at the top was pretty gnarly. But, it's all the way to the finish line.
Now, how tough at the top was it to get that hole shot?
I haven't been getting the hole shots lately, but I got a pretty good pull, and, I didn't go too far off the landing on the second feature, so, I got a great lead, and that helped me, establish just getting out in front. And I was able to hold it there, and I could feel them all around me pushing, and it was a very intense round right there.
Did you think you needed to do that method air on that jump?
Well, I just was going to try grabbing method or Indy, whatever came first, and my front hand went down first, so I tried to grab, but just didn't work.
Thanks, Lindsey.
Thanks.
So the world champ walks away with a silver medal here in the women's snowboard cross finals. Jacob Ellis with the fall. Tanya Frieden of Switzerland capitalizing, grabbing the gold. An American Seth Westcott, the gold medalist from the men's competition yesterday. And his girlfriend has the gold medal from today's competition.
You know, I think most competitive snowboarders dream of the huge victory. Lindsay seems to be no different. What happens in someone's head when they're leading down the home stretch in the Olympic?
Unfortunately lost it.
Man, what a development in Bardonecchia. Jacob Ellis was about 140 feet in the clear. That's 3 seconds ahead of Switzerland's Tanya Frieden. A huge margin, which she obviously threw away when she decided to add a little flourish to the end of what should have been a gold medal run. Now, in just a few moments, Jimmy Roberts will be here to provide some thoughts and perspective on what happened with Jacob Ellis. And immediately after that, Jacob Ellis herself will be with us in the studio. But first, we take one more trip to ice dancing with Tom, Dick, and Tracy.
From Palavella, the compulsory dance continues in the ice dancing competition. And the favored Russians, Navka and Kostomarov, are the leaders to this point, with the top American team of Belbin and Augusto in third place. And a few moments ago, they talked with Andrea Joyce.
Well, they had to get through a lot of obstacles to get here. First Olympic competition, Tana, first time competing as a U.S. citizen. Was it everything you thought it would be out there tonight?
Yeah, it was great, and it's really nice to be able to finally get the competition underway. It's something that we've been anticipating for a long time, so we were happy to have this on the roll, you know, and our performance tonight was relatively solid. We could have done better, but we're still in, you know, we're in striking distance for the rest of the competition for the medals.
Well, Ben, you didn't seem completely happy when you came off the ice. How did you think it went?
Well, we've done it better in practice, I think, but it was, you know, our first chance out there, and we're really happy to finally get underway. And, you know, it definitely could have been a lot worse. So we're very happy to start out this way, and we're looking forward to the rest of the competition.
So they are in striking distance as skating in their third Olympics, Denkova and Stavisky. They finished 7th in Salt Lake City.
This is such a strong team, and their only challenge is their lack of height difference. When they're so evenly matched, if their technique is not perfect, the woman looks taller than the man, and it's really easy for the judges to pick that up. If there's a big height difference, it's easier to hide the technical difficulties.
And here are their scores. They need 38.21 to take over the lead. The favorite Russian team is there at the moment. And their total is 37.65, good enough for second place, and knocking Belbin and Augusto down into 4th.
A charismatic performer. Well, the audience is going to love this. It was a well-skated dance. Barbara Fusarpoli, Maurizio Margalio just soaking it in and making the most of this experience skating at home in the Olympic Games.
This is the moment that they had hoped for when they announced their return.
Well, this was the perfect dance for them to show off their strengths because the difficult steps fall to the woman. Maurizio is not as strong with the quick feet, but he is an excellent partner, and that's what is required of him in this dance, is to track Barbara and to show her off well so that she can go through the difficult steps, and she does that. She just sparkled in this dance.
Well, so often at the Olympics, we see athletes from the host country rise to the occasion and put up some of their best performances. Here are their marks. 38.78 puts them into first place, but they still look confused. I don't think they know
It's a new system. They've never skated under it.
Certainly they heard the crowd. Now she knows. Well, that was certainly the top moment of the night, and Margalio and Barbara Fusarpoli, the diva of Italian skating, just soaking it in. So the surprise leaders are the Italians, and that's a tough act to follow. But now